Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching IAllegedly, and got a good one for you today. I'm at the Waldorf Astoria. I had a meeting up here today, and it's a beautiful spot. There's so much to cover in the economy, you know, with the instability of the markets, with inflation. I thought it had peaked. Inflation hasn't peaked, guys. And one thing that's crazy is I ran into Bob Cudla, who runs a trading academy, and I was going to ask him after he finished his meeting if he would join me. So let's hopefully Bob will come down and join us. But guys, the Fed, first lie is last month, remember guys, inflation had peaked. It is all over with. There is nothing to be concerned about. It's going to be done. And guess what, guys? Inflation is back. Now, I don't believe the 1/10 of 1%. I think it's much higher than that. And I think that they are kidding us. So please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Share this with everybody. And, let me know, guys. What do you guys think about this? Do you think that inflation has peaked? I think it's ridiculous. Gas prices are up now for 10 straight days in LA County. Okay. Yeah. Seems like a concern. This place is beautiful to walk around, so take a look and cover some of this for you. Hey guys, so as I was walking through the Waldorf Astoria, I ran into Bob Cudla, and he was gracious enough to come on the show. And Bob runs Trade Genius Academy. And I've known Bob for a while now, and Bob is really brilliant at following the market. And like I told you guys this about a week ago, I really wanted to get him on the show, and it was nice enough to run into him here at the hotel because he lives just up the street. And Bob has, over 25 years of experience working for Fortune 500 companies. He was in mergers and acquisitions, business development, and you started Trade Genius 8 years ago.
Yeah, 2015, I guess, coming on our eighth year. Amazing.
Wow. And I love talking stocks and trading and the market with Bob. And yesterday, with the chaos that we had in the marketplace, one thing that you've always told me that has resonated with me is, Dan, my clients, if the market's up, if the market's down, or the market's sideways, they're making money with me. And I call you a trend guy. What would you call you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a trend guy, but we kind of follow the Fed liquidity. We know the seasonality of the market. Like September is always a very, very rough month in the market, but it's also a good month for energy. So we kind of position ourselves with the bias of the probabilities. When we look at the market we look at like the 3 L's. There's leverage, liquidity, and there's levels.
Now with September being, a down month, or in average on an average for the market, why is energy good in September?
Yeah, it's counterintuitive. So, you'd think the summer would be up and then the fall and the spring would be down, but it doesn't work that way. So they're stocking in the spring. So the positive bias for oil is basically March to June. July and August, if you notice, oil went down 30% July and August. And everybody's saying, oh, inflation's dead. But then you go into a restocking again. And then we have that little thing out there called Russia and Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And so September into October is actually a positive bias for oil, energy in general. And then going into the winter months, oil falls off again.
Another thing, one thing we've talked a tremendous amount on the channel is about inflation. And I don't believe the inflation numbers. I don't believe our unemployment numbers. I don't believe our inflation numbers. And they finally, we were told last month that inflation peaked and it's over with and there's nothing to worry about. Now, inflation is back up again, and gas prices have gone down. All this, oil prices have gone down, and we're starting to see inflation go back up. So I think, personally, we're going to have a hellacious winter that is going to just wreak havoc as far as food pricing, as far as manufacturing, a little bit of everything. And
Yeah, I mean, look, there's some stuff I should send you, but none of the categories that we follow are less than 10% up year over year. So we know the inflation rate's more than double digit. So, but one thing that people have to understand is that whatever you hear from New York or Washington is designed to take your money. So you don't worry about that stuff. So So we knew going into this, the Fed had a narrative, because when he came out of Jackson Hole, Jerome Powell was pissed that he can't get this market knocked down, and he's going to go for it. And so he's been telling us and telling us and telling us. And then we saw the liquidity coming out. So liquidity, for people that don't understand, the Fed pushes money into the stock market, and the Fed pushes money out of the stock market through the banks. And that's how the casino works. Well, for the last 9 trading days, the Fed's been pulling liquidity out. We see it. We have programs. You ask, like, what do we do different? What do we do better? We have that data. So everybody was telling us, Bob, the market's going to go up, the market's going to go up, it's going to go up. I said, look, bear market rally, bear market rally, bear market rally. Yesterday or the day before yesterday, on Monday, it actually hit what we call our level. Remember, that's the other thing, we look at levels. And to say the market, it's also hit a neckline of what's called a head and shoulder. It's basically that's a failure pattern. And we said, we're going short.
Yeah,
and
see,
so,
that's the one thing I asked you. The first thing was, how'd you do yesterday? And with the market, tanking, you said you were up. You know, you're up in the short-term account, the long-term account, and your clients made money yesterday. That's crazy.
Yes. So we look, we've been positioned biased energy. The one thing about the Fed, and I've been telling this for people who would listen for the last 20 years, is that the Fed can do anything, but they can't print food, they can't print energy, and apparently they can't print medical, and they can't print rent. And so now we have the 4 horsemen of the economic apocalypse rising, and the Fed's going to try their best to raise rates into a destruction, but they're actually going to create the same mistake was made in 1929. I don't want to scare people. It's not going to be like that. But in 1929, they did the same darn thing, and they try to fix a problem they can't fix, because we have a supply problem. We don't have a demand problem.
Well, now people are going to be screaming right now and writing on the keyboard and say, damn, well, what's the solution? Is it just going to be a complete, utter collapse, or is there going to be some type of fix, whether it be a bad fix? The idea of a soft landing is ridiculous. We all know that inflation's going to go up. There's going to be massive layoffs. Morgan Stanley yesterday says they're going to have layoff season early,
right?
Which is crazy when you think about that. So you're going to see hashtag layoff season be a big deal, and it's going to affect businesses because people are not making the money that they've made in the past.
Right.
And but again, people have their investments. They have money in their 401ks and in their IRAs, and they need to trade. They need to make money. And the one thing I've always loved about talking to you is that you really have your hand on everything, and you really understand where the market's going. And do you look at things in a long-term aspect? Do you look at things for 6 months, or do you just look at things week by week?
No, I mean, we try to look at a year and work ourselves backwards. So we're already looking into 2023 and what does that look like? But look, I think what people forget, it's the old bear. It's 2 guys walking in the forest, and there's a bear behind you, and the guy sits down, puts his sneakers on. And he said, "You can't outrun the bear." He goes, "I don't have to. I just have to outrun you." And the same thing works in the market. So inflation's here, and inflation's going to push through for the next 6 to 9 months. Okay, that's baked in the cake. So you buy the things that are going up, so you outrun inflation. So we're long grains right now. We're long corn. We're long wheat. Okay, DBA gives us a buy signal.
Well, when you're long on that, okay, do you see? I had no idea that California produced so much rice. By the way, that we're the largest rice producer in the world. I did not know that, but our rice fields are hurting. So when you have hurting crops like that, is that good for the pricing? Is it good for the investment side of it, or is it devastating?
Oh no, it's really good. I mean, so wheat and corn are going to go up in price. We're having supply issues, but America, just so everybody knows, people always ask me, "Bob, where would you live? The world's going to end." Well, I live right here in America because we have a lot of natural advantages. So one of them is we have a rectangular country. So if Washington State's bad for wheat, North Dakota had a record crop of wheat. So our food prices kind of go up, but the difference this time, though, is China is having a lot of problems. So we're exporting a lot of food to China, and we're also exporting our strategic petroleum reserves to China too, and so that lifts prices up.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
too.
So we just buy these things. That's the other thing too. Is I don't try to outsmart the market, and I don't try to tell it what to do. If it says, "Bob, it's going up," I just buy.
Okay.
And that's the easiest way to do it. Just be like water. Just do what it's going to do, and you'll be fine.
One thing that you do is you make actual specific recommendations on what people should get into, and then you make recommendations on when they get out. And again, you've shown it to me, and it's pretty cool. And it's one of those things that I find it really easy to follow. Is there anything you can, tell people how that works? Because
Yeah.
I love talking to you because of your knowledge. And the thing that you always do that I always say is that you're just on top of everything. And I've never seen a stock guy that's like that. And there's no sugarcoating anything. Everything is very real when it comes to you. But can the average person follow what you do?
Oh yeah, it's really simple. So, so what we do is somebody joined our service. First thing that we do is we give you 22 videos on basically what is the stock market to how do you trade our stocks. So that's number one. We're not a guru service, so you're not. What we want to do is we want to enable you. We're going to teach you how to fish. We're going to give you the right fishing equipment. We're going to put you in the right ocean, but we're also going to throw you some fish every day. So like, for example, if you join me tomorrow, you go through those training classes. They're free. They're part of the service when you buy a bundle from us. And then once you do that, we actually give you our indicators. So, it's not black magic behind it. We actually give you access to them. And then once you have access to them, you have access to me. So right here on my phone, I have a Discord. And so people can just ding me all day long.
So for people that don't know what a Discord is, it's basically a private service.
Private service, yeah.
And it's very easy. You don't need any extra equipment. It's nothing. It's just very, very simple. But again, every time I run into you, you always tell me the same thing, that wealth is created, low and slow. You've had a lot of clients make a lot of money very fast with you. You've had a lot of clients that have been very successful time in year after year, and which I've always loved. But again, it's just the mentality of you're not worried about things. You're the only guy I know that's involved with stocks that is not pulling his hair out right now. That's not, this is going to be bad. We got to see what's going to happen here. It just, you're going to make money.
Yeah, and there's always a bull market in something.
Yeah.
So people ask me, if there's a recession, what do you do? I say, I'm buying bonds. So it's really simple. The market's really done some really cool things. The ETFs that are out there now, like we shorted people probably heard of Kathy Woods or
Yes.
ARK thing. Well, I had a buy signal this morning on SARK, SARK. It popped a buck. So people are in it. No problem. We're still in the trade. This trade still says it's good to go. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. And so we do that. And so if we go into recession, people already ask me how we position for a recession. I'm like, start buying long bonds. The Fed's going to have to stop at some point.
Don't you think that we're in a recession right now?
We are.
Think that this is just that we're going to head there and things are going to get bad. And it's just this narrative of, Realtor.com said something yesterday that we're going to start hearing these buzzwords, and they say, we want to get the real estate market to a balanced market. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? It's going to sell off. I mean, you're going to see these, in Australia and these other countries, you're going to see major problems with these adjustable loans that are hitting. And that's the thing. People write to me in Australia and say, I have a fixed rate loan and for 5 years. So I said, look, that's not a long-term loan. It's ridiculous. And now they're having, a million homes that have to be refinanced between now and the end of the year, and the rates are skyrocketing.
Australia's in big trouble.
Yeah, which is going to affect everything. So
look, the market's always in balance. So when people tell you that stuff, they don't know what they're talking about. There's always a buyer and seller at a price. So you don't. And the best thing people can do besides join my service, is don't watch CNBC. Those guys are designed to take money out of your pocket.
I call, I'm not a Kramer fan. I call him the clown in chief just because, it's just is a joke. And it's just been, and again, I don't get enough time with you. We should always spend more time together because you really do point me in the right direction, but you really, get me level headed with the market. And here's the thing. There's a lot of people out there right now that have 401ks and have investments. And, one woman wrote me yesterday and said, don't listen to that damn guy. He's an idiot. He's telling people to get better advice. And I had a woman a few months ago that her investment advisor was 27 years old. And I'm like, this guy was in high school during the last downturn. Right. You need someone that has lived through this. And that's the thing that you're great at. And so will you buy individual stocks too?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then you'll buy ETFs and you'll buy options too.
Yeah, we do. So we have different services. So we have a stock ETF service where we give signals out. We also have a crypto. We do crypto. My partner in crypto, he was a former Bitcoin miner, so he there's nobody knows more than crypto than he does. And I run a stock bot. He runs a crypto bot. So we basically have our algorithms feeding us trades all day long, and we evaluate them. If they're good enough, then we give them to our clients. But we also teach you how to set your own alerts.
that
you can actually do the same thing we're doing on our bot.
So the average person, that's concerned about things, you're again the most laid back guy.
Yeah.
And you're not concerned about any devastation in the marketplace because you're going to be ready for it. So, can somebody get started for a little bit of money? I mean, do they have to have, I get clients that write me and subs that write me and say, oh, I've got $3 million. My wife and I don't know what to do with it. And then I've got people that say I have $1,000. So people can get started basically for any price.
Yeah, because there's no commissions anymore. In fact, I would say 60-70% of our clients have less than $25,000.
Wow.
They're just looking for help. And so, we teach them help. And the thing that we do too, the biggest mistake people make is they think you can make money really fast. Or the worst thing that can happen to you is your first couple of trades, you make a lot of money because you think that's the norm, is that we just try to teach people good practices. And over time, through compounding, you're going to make a lot of money. So at the risk of just telling a lie to what I just told you, I just had a guy send me a note, Bob, I did training with you 5 weeks ago. I have a small account. I was losing money. And I doubled my portfolio in the last 5 weeks by just trading in the morning like you told me to and stopping when I made enough profit. And it just kept compounding. And those are the kind of things that warm my heart, because I have a lot of people that say, Bob, you told me to get out. I didn't get out. And I'm like, well, I can't help you if you don't listen to me. So the key thing is you want to have stops. You don't want to be greedy. Hey, look, you get out at 1%. You make 1% every 3 days in the market. You're making 150% a year. People don't get that stuff. You make 100 days in the market, you make 20,000 a year.
Knowledge that have instilled, and the things that you've instilled in me that have made a difference, that have made me not freak out and just follow your advice. But okay, so if anybody's interested in Trade Genius, I'll share the link below. But is there any specials or anything like that that's going on right now? Yeah,
since you corralled me, I'm happy to give out some specials for you guys. So if you go to tradelikeagenius.com or tradegeniusacademy.com, we have 7 bundles. I always pre-discount them, 65% off. You got to take advantage of it by Saturday. I'll have those set up for you by the time we do the video.
Okay.
And then promo code, I'll just send a link to you. Just go look in the link below, 40% off anything that's not bundled. And then you can trade stocks with us. You can trade VIP, which is options and futures, trade crypto with us. Or if you just want training, we do really good training. And I think if you see the price we charge for the service is nothing compared to anybody else out there. It's really, really, really ROI in your favor. And then, look, we want you to stay. We want you to be successful. I make my money long term with you guys.
The one thing also is that I've learned not to call you during market hours. And again, you live close to the hotel, so it was nice to run into them. And one thing that I want to ask is that, do people get access to you when they're a member of this? Are they going to be able to communicate with you? It's not just videos; it's access to Bob.
Yeah, it depends on what level of service you buy. Everybody has access to me via the chat room, and if people pay for training, they get access to me for one-on-one training or group training, and then I do some free training too. And then also VIP room, we're talking like you and I am.
Okay.
So I have over 100 people. That's why my voice is always shot at the end of the day. All day long, these people have access to me. Ask me any question you want. Anything about anything. It's just I only have a rule. First 2 hours has to be trading only.
Yeah.
Afterwards, you can ask me about everything.
Okay.
And that's how we do it. And it's great service.
Well, that's cool.
You'll
that'll be below, guys. I'll have that for you. But again, so as far as, do you think, let's go to the economy a little bit. Do you think that that we're headed, as far as a country and as far as the economy, that we're headed for big problems? Because I personally think that this is, a ship that is going to hit a ground and it's going to crash and it's going to be devastating. We just don't know how bad it's going to be. And
Right.
I think that you're going to see gas prices and oil prices, they're going to shoot up. I mean, they have to right now. There's no solution in sight. And they can do any narrative you want. Janet Yellen can tell us that Joe Biden's the greatest leader in the world and that he fixed everything. And it's preposterous, but as far as business is concerned, I just think that we are in for a rough end of the year, to say the least. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I mean, look, the Fed's going to overshoot. And then,
Overshoot by raising the interest rates too high?
They're going to raise the interest rates too high. In fact, I've already overdone it. It's just that he can't stop because the CPI keep going up every month on him. And so they're trying to break the market's momentum. And so but that's going to drive us into a recession in 2023. So,
And
well,
we're in a recession now, too.
oh, I'm
That's the
sorry.
one thing that,
Yeah,
no, you told me that because I asked you.
technical recession, real recession. The joke recession. If you know somebody doesn't have a job, it's a recession.
Yeah, and if you lose a job,
It's a depression.
Yeah. So, and who said? Was it Harry Truman that said that, or was that Warren Buffett that said that? Because it's been
One of those guys. Yeah. So,
So-
but that's a joke. I mean, look, we're in a technical recession now, but I mean recession. I mean, people won't be coming to Waldorf Astoria. Okay, the stuff like that will start winding down. Look, the Fed has a big problem on their hands, so they have a demographic problem. So they could try to unemploy people, but there's not enough people. You know what I'm saying? So companies are going to be reluctant to get rid of people, and
But
so
what are you going to do? I mean, here's the thing:
Yeah.
you got to employ somebody full time. You got to employ somebody enough so
Right.
that they can pay their bills. And even a barista, it doesn't do. Okay, well, we don't want to lose these guys, but we'll give them 5 hours. They can't eat. They can't pay for gas to go to work if they have that.
no, the Fed worked themselves into a problem here. We don't really know where it's going to go. You know, it's like Sisyphus, right? We're at the top here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know if they're going to roll down into some more. I don't call it hyperinflation because we're reserve currency, stagflation, or if we're going to roll down and have what I call it inflationary depression, where prices stay nominally higher than people can afford to do things.
You know, one thing that we're seeing a lot of is the banks are doing shenanigans where they're not allowing cash deposits. They're limiting the amount of cash people can take out. They're putting longer holds on checks now. I just had a subscriber write me and had $30,000 worth of bonds that they held, and then they said they were going to hold them for a month because they didn't verify them with the Treasury, and then they closed the account. Yep. And now he has to try to get that money back. Well, we're seeing game after game after game with the banks, which is scary. Do you see banking problems in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I knew I was going to run into you. There was last month to this month, the deposits went negative at the banks, which is pretty freaking scary.
So less money was put into deposits into banks
that was been withdrawn out.
Wow.
And then Goldman Sachs, they're the primary provider of the Apple Card, 3.24% basic default rate, higher than subprime, which is like alarm bells. That means people are
I didn't know that.
People are living on credit cards, and then they're just walking away from the credit card.
The credit card debt is at an all-time high right now, and people are spending money to eat. They're spending money at the grocery store. Now, I get people that write me and go, "My wife and I have always put, food on the cards because we get points." It's not those people. It's the people that are struggling to get by, that are figuring out that they've got $158 in credit and spend 150 of it right now. And
That's right.
And then don't pay it off at the end of the month too. That's the problem.
Yeah, and look, they're going to default, and probably 50% of those people told Goldman Sachs that they make $100,000 a year to get the line of credit they did, and then when they take you to bankruptcy court and they send it, you're only making $12,000 a year. You're on the hook for the money. So it's going to get really, really ugly, Dan, and so that's going away. So the Fed's going to be in panic mode.
So when they raise it's about 2 weeks from now when they're going to raise the rates, right? And but do you think they could raise them 1%?
When I walked out the door today after the market closed, Bloomberg was reporting that their little wizards were telling them that the Fed's opting for 1% in 2 weeks. It's a disaster because the people that need credit aren't going to get credit, and the people that don't need credit,
here's the thing.
killing them.
We live in Southern California. You've got the majority. You've got a more affluent clientele and a more affluent audience. But when you go to Riverside County or we go to Northern California, these other states where housing prices 2.5 years ago were $200,000 and now they're $500,000, and now Vegas, I get all these agents now sending me stories. This house sold on this street for $500,000. Now it's down to $320,000. All this crazy numbers that we're starting to see. Things get dropped to. I think that's going to be the norm. We're going to see more and more of that.
Yeah, look, west of 5, you're good. Mm-hmm. Okay, east of 15, you're screwed. And for people who live in California, west of 5 is basically the ocean,
5 freeway, and the ocean.
The ocean.
It's funny, guys. Here in the beach communities, I'm telling you this right now. I should do this sometimes, where we go to like Corona Del Mar and some of those areas where I walk on the beach, and people are like, "Are you west of PCH?" Because it literally is. It used to be $100,000 difference. Now it's like $500,000 difference. If you cross the street and you're on one side of the street, the houses cost $500,000 more as compared to this. It's less desirable because you have to cross that street. And the 15 freeway, with all that building out there, there are so many builders that are going to go out of business.
Yeah.
Now, Lennar Homes, one thing that we've talked about that we've seen a tremendous amount of in the past is we've seen their inventory of uncompleted homes. And I've been following this for the channel since the beginning of the year. 16,000, 21,000. Last time it was 28,000 houses. That's a lot of houses, billions of dollars worth of homes that are not completed. Yep. And it's only going up. And the same thing with Pulte homes. Don't you see that this is a problem because they can't get things done? And with building problems, it's going to have other problems in other sectors.
Yeah, I mean, look, California GDP, their little secret about California, 30% GDP is real estate. So the other 30% is high tech. So high tech's been leaving for Texas for a while now, and just look at San Francisco and down real estate 30%. I mean, I know people that made $1 million last year that haven't sold a home this year. But it's not that person that loses the job because they're on commission. It's all the people that work for them, escrow companies, title companies. Landlords are going to have issues, because people are going to walk away from their rent or not pay the rent. So, but one thing too, if you guys live in the Phoenix marketplace, 22% year over year decline in what's called price per square footage. And so Vegas,
that was such a hot market that was up almost 40% during the last 2.5 years, and now it's completely, run out of gas. And I've had so many agents from the Phoenix area and Phoenix and Vegas that have written me saying it's over, and people that were buying mobile homes in the Phoenix area for $700,000. That's insane, guys. It's just nuts.
Yeah, I told people a long time ago, you don't want to own rental real estate. If BlackRock gets out of rental real estate, you shouldn't be in rental real estate.
And that's what they did. They got 38 states that they're not going to buy anymore. They're not going to buy any more real estate. Not that they're out of it.
Well, they're leaving some markets already. So the thing about BlackRock, people don't know. Everybody says these guys on Wall Street, they're the smartest guys in the world. No, they're the most corrupt and most connected guys in the world. And so they took $1 billion charge in 2008 for the real estate. Okay,
really?
They walked away, and this time is going to be worse because the pandemic taught people that if you don't make money and you don't have a job, you don't pay your rent, you stay in the house. California got my back. So a lot of these guys that have these huge portfolios of rental real estate, they're going to get rich. They're going to find out they're basically walking around with lead weights in their shoes because the governments are going to protect the people. They're not going to protect the landlords. So,
well, do you think? Okay, European Central Bank. We'll end it on this one. European Central Bank said that they've got the ability to bail out banks and help banks. Is that just printing money?
Yeah.
Funny money, and every conspiracy theory in the world has been sent to me about banking and everything else lately, and it's nuts.
Yeah.
But I think that these, during what we saw in 2020, when they just gave out all that money, it caused great harm.
Right.
Walmart's falling victim now. They've got inventory problems, too much inventory. A subscriber wrote me today. It was at Sam's Club in Riverside County, and they had no running water in the Sam's Club. So there's no restrooms. I'm like, wait a second. How do the employees wash their hands? How did they do that? And how do the fire sprinklers work if there's no running water to the entire building?
Yeah.
But they let everybody shop inside, which is insane. So, anyways, I could go on for an hour about some of this.
Yeah, you and I can spend the rest of the day here, but ECB is printing money. They're full on money printing right now. Look, they're trying to get through this next winter. Next winter is not going to be the problem. The winter after that's going to be the problem because it's going to take 2 or 3 years to find a supply change from Russia. But, they're importing. The United States, people don't know this. We're the largest provider, exporter of liquefied natural gas in the world. Well, guess what we own? We own liquefied natural gas companies.
Yeah.
That's not changing anytime soon. Pay killer dividends. People ask me too, look, I'm not a young guy anymore. So I would say 40% of my portfolio I hang a dividend on. And I have dividends paying between 8 and 14%. So, I got.
Do you like the monthly dividends or the quarterly dividends or yearly? Do you have a preference?
Yeah, mostly they're mostly quarterly. I used to do a lot of monthlies, but they got rid of those of the MLPs. But they're quarterly. You just stagger them. But I'm in. I'll give 2 freebies away here. Look at FLNG. Look at GLNG. FLNG pays a dividend, but they're the ones that are providing the natural gas tankers to Europe.
Wow.
Well, they're locked in for 2 or 3 years. I don't care if the stock market goes to zero. Those guys are getting paid, or those people aren't getting heat.
Yeah,
There's a lot of guys out there that have that.
That we had this freak rainstorm here, and it made me think, well, what if we do have a really bad winter here? Again, it rains and the sun comes out, But I think that you're going to see places that it's going to get bleak and cold and a complete mess. So,
Yeah.
but again, thank you for your
You're
time
welcome.
today. You're awesome. And we got to do this again soon. So, again, Trade Genius, you guys, I'll put the link below for you guys, and reach out to Bob. You've got the special. Let's go through it again one more time.
Yeah, hey, thanks for letting me plug. Yeah, just go to tradelikeagenius.com. So I put some specials together to Saturday. You can use our bundles. We have 7 of them. You can pick and choose what you want. You can call us. You can email us. You can chat with us. I have a guy that can help pick the right thing for you. And then if you just want to pick and choose something, just pick something in the store. 40% off anything that's not bundled. The bundles are already pre-discounted. But take advantage by Saturday. I think you'll like what we do.
All right, awesome. Well, guys, I'm going to end this video because we went a lot longer than I thought. So please, first of all, don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. Take a look at Trade Genius. And don't forget the email list. You guys sign up below. And if you want more access to me for more exclusive content, there's Patreon. Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. And again, Bob, we'll get you back on the show sometime too. So thank you guys for being here.
No, thanks for having me, Dan.